Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, writing resumes. Resumes are a really important part of the job, internship, or graduate school process, and it's really important that your resume speaks to exactly what you want it to. So the first thing we're going to do is if you have your resume in front of you or if it's on the computer, I'm going to ask you to either flip over your resume or pull up a blank document and think about the following questions. What do you want someone to know if they take a quick look at your resume and they walk away? What do you want them to leave knowing about you? What are those key things that you really want to show through your resume? And we want to make sure that those are apparent. So oftentimes if you flip back over your resume or you pull it up on the screen, once you read through it, you're going to realize that maybe you didn't even use that keyword throughout your whole resume. Because when we start to write a resume, we go straight to what we've done in the past. We just start listing out our experiences and we forget to think about generally, what do we want to be known for? So I encourage you to do this little exercise to kind of really think about those keywords that you want to show through your resume. All right, so what is a resume? A resume is a piece of marketing material that showcases your story. It tells stories like your work experience, the key skills that you have, sometimes your interest areas, and your educational background. It showcases the qualities and skills you possess related to that specific opportunity. And so tailoring the resume to a specific job description or to a specific graduate school or to a specific opportunity is extremely important. It differentiates you from other candidates and makes sure that you get to showcase your key skills and experiences. Ultimately, it gets you the interview. It is not the only thing that's a part of the process. It's the first step to get you the interview. Then you get to show up and tell more about your experiences. And it's a piece of your broader marketing material with your cover letter, your references, your LinkedIn profile, your professional presence, and all those different pieces that are a part of the process. All right, so I almost gave away the secret. How long do you think a recruiter spends on a resume? Let me give you a second to think about it. All right, those of you who guessed 30 seconds, that is a long time to spend on a resume. On average, recruiters spend about 5 to 7 seconds on a resume. It is very key, short, to the point. They focus on the key information. And so it's really important that once again, we highlight that information that you want to show through if a recruiter spent their time only 5 to 7 seconds taking a quick look at your resume. So what are the pieces of a resume? The first thing that appears on your resume is your contact information. We're going to talk more about your contact information and your profile and objective in the next lecture. We're also going to talk a little bit about education in that lecture as well. So contact information, then usually your profile and objective, and then your education after that. Unless you have relevant work experience, education can then go lower down on the resume. You definitely want an experience section that can be paid or unpaid work experience, and then you can decide how else you want to customize your resume. Maybe you want an involvement section, a volunteer section, a travel section. It really depends on your situation, what you're applying for. Today we're going to focus a little bit on general resume guidelines regarding formatting, and then we're going to jump into those specific pieces in the upcoming lectures. But the biggest piece around resume formatting is order of importance. So you really want to focus within each section. So let's say you're talking about your most recent work experience. You want to make sure that you're ordering your bullet points or your descriptions from most important to least important. Maybe you got a huge award at that company. I don't want to wait till the last bullet point to read that. I want that to be right up front and center. Within each section, so that means if we have a work experience section and an activities section, within each of those sections, we have to go in chronological order from most recent to least recent. So that means that your most recent experience is going to be maybe one you're currently in or one that you had this past summer. Then you want all of your dates aligned on the right-hand side to showcase that it fills the white space. So oftentimes if we have everything aligned on the left-hand side, there's a lot of white space on the right side of the resume. So we want to make sure that those dates are aligned on the right-hand side to fill that gap. Overall, you want your resume to be easy to read and easy to follow, and you want to stay consistent. Consistency means staying consistent with where you're bolding information, where you're adding periods, things like that. You want to just make sure it's consistent so those inconsistencies don't grab the recruiter's attention. You just want to make it super easy to read. And pay attention to your audience. If you're applying to a creative marketing firm, your resume might have a little bit more color and design. If you're applying to an accounting firm, you might keep it black and white and really simple and easy for them to get the key information that they're looking for. Remember, spelling and grammar count. Every recruiter I've talked to says the first time that they see a spelling and grammar mistake, they just throw that resume away. They have a stack of 100 more that they could utilize. So that shows your lack of attention to detail and potentially your lack of interest because you didn't review your resume. So always make sure you review your resume, you have somebody else take a look at it, because sometimes the more we read it, we forget to notice those small spelling and grammar mistakes. So spelling and grammar count a lot. You can notice a lot of these formatting suggestions that are listed in your sample resume that's posted in this week's module. All right, so just a couple notes, because I know we have a lot of accounting students in this course, that there are a few specific things that accounting, specifically public accounting companies, like to see on the resume. First is some interest in pursuing a CPA license. So whether that's that you will be pursuing 150 credits, that you're interested in sitting for the CPA exam, that you're exploring opportunities to receive your CPA. There's lots of different ways to put on your resume, but they do want to know that you're interested in pursuing your CPA. The next is they want to see your major GPA broken out from your general GPA. So if you are majoring in accounting, they want to see your major GPA listed with your overall GPA. And then things that stay the same over all business administration and other fields is a profile section. Once again, we're going to talk about that a lot more next week, but it includes key skills and experiences at the top of the resume. Also including specific keywords from job descriptions. If you're not tailoring your resume, it's not going to be as useful in that job search process. And then proof of your skills and experiences. Don't just list them, but give me proof. And then relevant technology, training, certifications, things that are specific to that field you want to make sure to highlight as well. Then we get to bullet points. Bullet points are really the meat of the resume. So bullet points, and you can use descriptions like summary descriptions or paragraphs, but what I'm talking about is your description of your experiences. And so oftentimes it's helpful to do a bullet point because it helps keep your resume organized and allows you to focus in on key information. So a bullet point format that I suggest is listed here, starting with a strong action verb. And if you don't know what an action verb is or examples of ones, if you just Google action verb list, there are hundreds out there to help you kind of switch up your action verbs in your resume. So strong action verb plus the skill used or the task completed, that usually depends on what's most relevant, plus the result, the why, or the value add. So oftentimes we might not have numbers that describe our experience or results that we measured, but usually there's a reason why we did it or a way we added value to the company because of that task that we completed or that skill that we gained. So here's an example: provided quality customer service to 400 plus residents in a timely and professional manner. This might be a resident assistant here on campus. You can see here they focused on a strong action verb provided with customer service as the skill they used to serve 400 plus residents. Now that number is really powerful in this action verb, in this bullet point. And then in a timely and professional manner, that's kind of the value that they added to their organization. You can see down below in your profile, you're also going to include bullet points, but those look a little bit different. So profile bullet points are more general. They describe an overall skill set. So here, effective leadership skills and the ability to work with a team, but then they include proof as evidenced in a successful term as president of the Great Alaskan Accounting People. Now, that organization might be listed later on the resume, but this is kind of a peek into that organization and showcasing, once again, that general skill set with proof. All right, so ultimately in your resume, you want to answer the question, how am I solution to the employer's problem? Now, what's the employer's problem? Oftentimes that's in the job description. They're missing somebody to serve those key roles in their company. So you want to do the best you can to showcase that you fit that opportunity. All right, that's all we've got for today. The next 2 weeks, we're going to go and dive deeper into the different pieces of a resume. So make sure you watch those lectures as well. Hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.